Have you guys seen a tree around anywhere? No, but seriously, what are we doing here today? Well, this is an idea that I've wanted to try for a while now. Generally, when people get stuck and they need a winch out of something and there's no tree around, they'll generally bury their spare tire. People have tried a number of different things over the years. I mean, you can buy all sorts of different sand anchors. Some are literally like a boat anchor that digs into the ground. Others use star pickets. And then there's like the Deadman Sand Anchor, which you actually bury in the ground. Well, what about Maxtrax? Can you use Maxtrax? Well, today I'm hoping to find out, so stick around, let's see if we can do this. Yeah, I'm actually a bit puffed after pulling that winch up that hill, eh? Hopefully you can't tell. So what's the actual plan? Well, I got 4 Maxtrax here. And what I'm thinking of doing is getting the strap, running it through the center eyelets on both Maxtrax, like that, and then feeding it through the other side. So on these two, it's going to be fed through both of them, like that. Now what I'm thinking of doing with the other two is getting the strap and just feeding it through both of them on the other side here. So what that hopefully means is it's going to form a V, so that when it's getting pulled in the sand, it should grab around the mound of sand, I hope, and hopefully they won't come out. I'm probably going to dig the hole on a bit of an angle, if you know what I mean. We'll bury them on an angle so that they sit in the sand like that probably. So I haven't tried this before, but I really hope this works because I never carry a sand anchor with me, but I've always got my Maxtrax. Well, anyway, I got a lot of digging to do, so let's get started. You guys are sitting there at home watching this video just waiting for me to get my toes, aren't you? Well, just wait for it, it's probably gonna happen. Alright, let's see if I can actually get out of this hole. Ah! Could have guessed that was gonna happen, really. How many minutes are we up to? There you go. So, that only took about 5 or 6 minutes to dig that hole. Mind you, the sand was fairly wet under there. Obviously, it depends what the sand's like. Well, without any further ado, let's try this. Wow, that sand collapsed at like the best time. Alrighty. Alright, so now what I pretty much got to do, I reckon, is these straps are halfway on the Maxtrax. So I reckon I need to get these straps more into the ground, because otherwise I reckon they'll just pull straight out. So I'm going to dig a little hole for the straps to go into, and I'm probably going to have to extend these, I reckon, because I just don't reckon, oh, they might be long enough. So I'm just going to extend these straps a little bit more, just so that I can keep the angle the same. Now I'm just using a soft shackle to attach these 2 eyelets to the winch rope, like that. And don't forget your winch dampener. I'm definitely going to fill this one with sand because I don't know what's going to happen in this situation. Alrighty, so tree trunk strap, equalizer strap, shackle, winch rope. Pretty simple. Now I'm just going to bury this whole area in sand to give it every chance that it's got. I'm so curious if this is going to work or not. This is what they call the recovery dance. It just gets you in the right frame of mind for recoveries. Alright, well, I'm going to start the car and just have the engine running in neutral. Alright, let's take the tension up. Alright, so let's just see. I'll just let go of everything and just let the winch do all the work. Give it some revs. Seems to be pulling it. I don't know what's happening up there, but here it looks great. I'm just gonna go have a look because I'm just curious what's going on, but it seems to be working really, really well. The Maxtrax aren't bent or anything, like they're still straight as, like, seems to be working awesome, like. I'm pretty impressed, like, it's not worth carrying a sand anchor how well this works. So right now I'm moving forward just on the winch, like I'm not driving at all, I've just got the revs up just to give the alternator a bit more oomph. That's awesome. It's always the way with forward driving videos that you can never really tell how steep a hill is in the video. So how steep is this hill? It's not the steepest hill in the world, but it's still probably a good, that kind of angle I'd say. Not like that, but at least like that. So still a fairly big sand hill. So for the sand anchor to be working in this kind of scenario, I reckon this is fantastic. I take that back. The Maxtrax, I've just seen some movement up there. I think they've started pulling out. Alrighty guys, so what happened there? Well, I tried to winch in again, and from the car I could see that I was moving in the sand, so I stopped. And sure enough, the Maxtrax have moved a bit. But all things considering the amount of weight that was on them, with the full load of the car was in neutral, just dragging itself up the hill, I actually reckon that worked really, really well, to be honest. Yeah, so the Maxtrax have definitely started to come out, so now I'm just going to put it in drive, low range, as well as winching in. I might just try not touching anything and just see what happens now. Well, there you go, it looks like it's holding for the minute. Wow, that's awesome. I'm not even touching the throttle or nothing, and we're still managing to get out. So I think the load just must have become too much before when I was trying to winch up with absolutely no drive at all, but there you go, we're moving up, no drums at all now. I apologise if the audio is a little bit windy here. So to summarise, using Maxtrax as a sand anchor. Well, in the first test when I had it in neutral, it was working really, really well until I think the hill just started getting a little bit steep, and at that point they started pulling out. So then I put it into drive in low range. I didn't touch the accelerator, and we got ourselves to the top of the hill. So if you ask me, this is an awesome way of doing it if you got no sand anchor. So I am definitely going to keep this in mind for future recoveries. I think it's a great way of doing it. Saves you carrying extra gear. You can just use the same gear that you got for different things. So there you go guys, if you get yourself stuck and you got a winch but no tree to winch off, chuck your recovery tracks in the ground like this and chances are you'll get yourself out. So I'm going to go hit the beach because it's getting a little bit warm, and I'll catch you guys in another video. See ya. What's the best way to do this? I must be getting lazy in my old age. I'm sure at least some of you guys are curious what the Maxtrax look like after using them like that. And if you ask me, they look fine. This one here was actually on top. Can't even tell where the strap was going over that it's been used like that. So Maxtrax are awesome, man. I love these things.